we have yet another no line reference question here. So no line reference, if we haven't done the passage, if we haven't read it, we need to know where to look. And even if we have read the passage, I don't want to have to reread it looking for this specific fact. So we use the chronology rule to guide us. So that means that all of the other surrounding questions, those line references should be in order. So if we know that question 7 is about 40 to 49, 9 doesn't have a line reference, but 10 is related to 9, so 10's line references are kind of all in the 80s. We would expect 8 to be somewhere between like 49 and, let's say, 80. But it could be anywhere. That's the thing, is that's still a big chunk. But luckily, we can use the question to guide us. Why did Miss Spivey end up in 3-step? Right? There's an answer to this question. This is a fact from the passage. We just need to kind of look at where they talk about 3 steps. If we go back, we just read all of this here for the previous question, right? That was about the marching and the wandering. So we read about this, and then here it talks about 3-step. Well, they sent her to 3-step. Why did they send her to 3-step? Because she told a cheery, blue-suited woman from the WPA that she wanted to bring democracy and education to the poorest, darkest, most remote, and forgotten corner of America. They sent her to 3-step Georgia. Okay, that seems like an answer. So if we go to the choices, it doesn't say anything about Janet Miller. Maybe it's because she attended college in New York City. That kind of comes up. But more specifically, it was because she was talking with a woman at the WPA. Like, that's a direct quote, basically, from the passage. So go with the more, like, provable answer, right? Like, yes, in a way, it was because she was in New York City for college that she went to this lecture and then met this WPA person. But the real reason is the WPA person. And I don't know, I mean, this Miss Chandler's thing is just part of the story, but it's not talked about here. So the bad thing about no line reference questions is that it feels like you need to read the passage and skim the whole passage in order to find the answers. If we use the chronology rule, we can narrow our focus to smaller parts of the passage. But the good thing about no line reference questions is usually once we do find the answer, it's pretty obvious. So it's a trade-off. You lose the line reference, but you gain clarity. We've seen a lot of line reference questions sometimes can be confusing because even if you have the lines, the way the question is worded is confusing. So it's always a trade-off, but this is still going to allow you to use the no reading strategy because the chronology rule can narrow your focus to fewer lines, and you'll be pretty confident when you do find the right lines that you've got the right answer. The no reading strategy works, even when there's a lot of no line reference questions.